Remember this moment carefully. Gwabini didn't run from court. He went there 3 times. Twice he was turned away. On the 3rd attempt, while the prosecution was already building its case, Sergeant Magola threatened him and chased him off. Now ask yourself this. When a prosecution blocks people from entering court, are they looking for the truth or protecting it? Watch this.
Ngifike lapha mangifika ngithathwe yi-security lingise office lakhe uBabaloyi.
I arrived there. The security then took me to Mr. Baloyi's office.
Kunendawo yokuthi nje inespace ne-TV evalwe ngebhodi engaka lapha.
There is a spacious area there with a TV that is covered with a board over there.
Ngifike ngihlala lapho kuthiwa khona abantu abasekhona ngaphakathi ngosuku lokuqala ngifika khona. Ngihlale ke ngilinde beze bephume laba bantu laba. Mayephuma lo muntu lo ngimbona ukuthi ubani ephuma eminyango kaBabaloyi ephuma kanje mina ngihlezi la eminyango ngifuna ukubona umuntu engempindile ukuthi ubani onozimlinde ukuthi ephume mase ngena mina. Uphume uConstable Zungu phakathi eoffice kaBabaloyi nenye intombazane bebhekile.
Yes.
Ngingene engibuza uBabaloyi ukuthi ngiyaphilana.
I went in and then Mr. Baloyi asked about how I was doing.
Ngimtshela ukuthi ngiyaphila mase buza ukuthi kahle engitshela ukuthi kahle kahle kufuna uyahamba uyongena ecourt wena.
I then said to him that I was okay, and then he informed me that actually you were supposed to be going to court.
Ngimtshela ukuthi ukuyongena ecourt anginankinga nakho.
I informed him that I had no problem in going to court,
because ngisabi uyongena ecourt ngisabela impilo yami.
but I'm scared to go to court. I'm scared for my life.
Yes.
Mayikhumbula inkosi eKatolo ngike ngathi emuva ngike ngatshela ukuthi unyawo lamgcobe ngaphakathi ejele ebegcobe ekufeni.
The court will recall that earlier on I was told that I was standing between prison and death. In other words, my one foot was in prison, my one foot was in death.
May you again remind the court in under what circumstances that was said and you said it?
Uma ungakhumbuza inkantolo ukuthi lokho uma kushiwo bekushiwo ngaphansi kwasiphi isimo ngaphansi kwaziphi izimo.
And who said it?
Nokuthi kwakushiwo ubani.
Kwakushiwo uGininda esho cause kwistatement ukuthi istatement nesikamuzi masifundwe yonke into ngiyayazi.
It was said by Gininda, and he said that referring to Moses' statement, that if Moses' statement is to be read out or was to be read out, according to that statement, I knew everything.
Okay.
Masifika la ngaphakathi ke ubaba umshushisi ephethe statement akathi sabhalwa yimi.
And then when we got inside there, the prosecutor was in possession of a statement which was alleged, or which he alleged that it was written by myself.
Yes.
Engifundele baba umshushisi statement.
The state then read the statement to me. So ngaqhubeka.
Esifundi statement. Ethi mayiqala nje sifunda engibize ngogwabile.
He read the statement, and as he just started, from the word go, as he just started to read the statement, he referred to me as Gwabeni.
Mase ngiyamtshela ukuthi mina ngibizwa isithakazelo ukuthi uGwabeni. Mina igama lami nguSifiso Zungu lilodwa alikho.
I then informed him that Gwabeni, what it was now my clan name, and that my name was Sifiso Zungu.
Uthena bayifundele wathi ipholo elisilva elikasifiso kani Zungu Tuli.
When he read that line, he said, Sifiso Nkani Zungu Ntuliza Silver Polo. Yebo?
Ngamtshela ngathi hayi statement esikhuluma ngasuccess.
I then immediately said to him, no, the statement you are referring to is not mine.
Wangibuza ukuthi ubani osayinela ngaphansi.
He then asked me Then who signed underneath here?
ngathi angazi.
I said, I don't know.
Okay, when asked as to who had signed there, were you shown the place where the person has signed or that signature?
Uma ubuzwa ukuthi ubani osayine la, le ndawo le ekhulunywa ngawo engaba wayitshengiswa yini noma ke isignature leyo wayitshengiswa yini noma kwabuzwa nje kuphela?
Angikhombisi.
I was shown. It was shown to me.
And then having seen that signature, what was then your response?
Usubonileke la ekusayinwe khona ke wasuthini uma uphendula wena?
Ngamtshela into yami i-signature ithi S.
I informed him that my signature is an S.
Yes.
Yep.
And then what happened?
Kwase kwenzekani?
Base bethula ke bexoxa ke ngoba kwakukhona yena uBabaloyi, ubhuti ngaliya, umamfundisi, uGininda wangena endlini ngaphakathi khona lapha e-office ngaphakathi uyade engekho ngaphakathi wangena ufika wahlala phansi.
They then had a discussion. It was the state advocate Baloyi, the gentleman next to advocate Baloyi, Mamfundisi. Gininda was not inside, but he came into the office.
Yes.
Yep.
So walapho utheme sekufika isikhathi leso ke sebeqedile ukukhuluma bathi angihambe. Sebeyahamba sebeyongena ecourt manje angihambe mina ngibuyele emuva sengilate.
When they were done with the discussion that they had, they then told me to leave, that they were now going to court. They were now late.
Now, when they told you to leave, what did you understand by that?
Uma bethi awuhambe wena leyo nto yayithini kwena noma kwafike yini kwakukutshelani lokho uma bethi awuhamba?
When they actually said leave, were they saying let's go to court or you should go back where you came from?
Okay. Babethi hamba buyela la usuka khona noma babethi hamba siya enkantolo?
Babethi angihambe ngendlini la ngihlala khona.
They were telling me to go home where I'm staying.
Okay, thank you. That is clear. Proceed.
Yebo, ngaqhubeka.
Kwaqhubeka isikhathi.
And did you leave?
Ingabe wahamba ngempela?
Ngahamba mina ngendlini.
Yes, I left. I went home for the first time.
Ngize ngafika kathathu. Ngibala kuze ku 3.
I
Yes.
came here 3 times.
Yes, proceed.
Okwesibili ngabuya.
I came back the second time.
Kwakade ngena uConstable Zulu. I wanga u2022 August bayangena uConstable Zulu. Ngabuya ngathi mangibuya ngangilandwe uye futhi ulo ubhuti lo
Mlawuzi.
umlawuzi.
It was now in 2022, but it was before Constable Zungu came in or came to testify. It was in August, and again I was fetched by Mulawuzi.
Lapho ngathi mangibuya khona ngabatshela ukuthi niyangiphazamisa kahle kahle lokhu ningifaka emaceleni ngangene kuwe ngibekelela imali ngifuna ukushaya.
When they fetched me, I informed them, I told them that actually you are disturbing me, getting me into matters or court cases that I am not involved in or I know nothing about, because I'm actually now saving money with the intention of getting married.
Now, this who that you're referring to, who are they? The people that you said they're wasting your time because you were preparing for your marriage.
Manje ke
Who are
laba othi wabatshela ke ukuthi kahle kahle niyangiphazamisa obani usho obani?
Ubaba umshushisi.
The state?
they? Okay, proceed.
Yebo, ngaqhubeka.
Bangitshela ukuthi ekugcineni kodwa kuyofuna ugcina ufikile uzofunda lesi statement lesi ngoba sikhomba ukuthi ngwena owasibhalayo istatement lesi ukuthi nasi sibhalwe igama lakho phezulu.
They then informed me that eventually you will have to come and read this statement because it indicates that you are the one who wrote it and your name is written on top here.
Thank you.
Basifunda ngosuku lesibili lapho engihamba boza khona ukuthi makuyikuthi mina ngibhala istatement ngafaka umafika la ku statement ufike kwabosha umuzi kuqala uthe kubosha umuzi kwabanjwa mina umafika ngakaboshwa mina sengibhala
Okay, wena? Yebo.
mina sengibhala statement kanjani ngomafika eboshwe emva kwami.
Okay. The statement was then read out. The statement then also read or included Mafika as having been arrested. But as the statement was read, it mentioned that Muzi had been arrested and then I was arrested. And then how is it then possible that I included Mafika in this statement? Because Mafika, according to the statement, was arrested after me.
Yes.
U-August lo.
That was in August.
Ngaphinde bangixosha.
Again, they chased me away.
Ngaphinde ngabuyela emuva eForce.
I then
Wathi
went,
umshushisi angihambe ngiyoshada. Ngicabange kahle ngibuyisa ingqondo.
I then went back to Foslo. The prosecutor then said to me that let me go and get married and then recollect my mind and think properly.
Yes.
Ngahamba ngabuyela emuva.
I then went back.
Ngahamba ngaya ekhaya.
I went home
Okwesithathu
the third time.
angeke ngisakhuluma ngase ngishadiwe kodwa khona ngase ngishadiwe okwesithathu ngifika la.
The third time when I came here, I was already married.
Bangifonela futhi bangitshela ukuthi ngiyabizwa ecourt.
They contacted me again and informed me that I was called in court.
Who contacted you?
Ufonelwa bani?
Ngifonelwa uye ulo wemoto ebomvu.
The very same gentleman of the red vehicle,
Mohan.
Mohane.
Umhana. Hayi umhana, umlawuzi.
Not Mohane,
Lo ngilandayo.
Mulawuzi. The one who fetched me, Mulawuzi.
Lona bengilanda le.
The one who fetched me there in Foslo.
Okay.
Engifonela ethi uma ngifonela ngiyibambe ifoni engitshela ukuthi ngizothathwa umuntu osuke eHickleback uzokwendlule ngithathe Foslo ezinami la eKatolo. Ngathi uyangibambezela ngifuna ukuza vele lo Katolo ngikhathele uConstable ngongipenda ngamagama engiqambela amanga lapha ecourt.
When Mulawuzi contacted me,
Yes.
he informed me that I was going to be picked up by someone who was coming from Heidelberg.
Yes.
The person was going to pick me up in Foslo and bring me to court. I then said that that person is delaying me. Indeed, I want to go to that court. I'm sick and tired of Constable Zungu who's telling lies about me.
Yes.
Wayethi ngizokwendlula ngithathe uDlamini angikhohlwa ngisibongo leso ngoba sikhona ngapha emakhaya. Wathi ngizokwendlula uthathe uDlamini lapho egarage.
He informed me that the person that was going to pick me up was Dlamini. I cannot forget that surname because that's a very familiar surname back home. He said that Dlamini will pick you up at the garage.
Ngahlala kwaze kwashaya past 8. Abonda kusisi. Ngacela omunye umuntu ohamba ngemoto kwakuyi-Ethos iBY. Wangithatha wangiletha la. Ngangigqoka amatracksuit amnyama mhlawumbe abanye bakhona abantu bangibona. Ngangigqoka amatracksuit amnyama ngafika ngama lapha ya. Ngase office labo eminyango ngoba ngingakazi lapho ukuthi ngakuphi indawo.
I waited there up until after 8 and then I saw that this was delaying me. I then asked someone who was traveling in an Etios to bring me. I came here, I was wearing black tracksuits.
Yes.
Maybe people saw me there. I stood there, their offices, because I did not know the court. I wasn't familiar with the court.
Yes.
Bangikhombisa ukuthi icourt la ngathi ngidla ngangizongena impela ngathi ngidla wathi mamfundisi ukungena uzobona kahle ukuthi uzothulana makwangena la ecourt ngajika lapha ecourt lokugcina kwesithathu ngahamba.
I then was shown where the court is. I came to the court, and then when I was about to enter, it was Mamfundisi who said to me, "You dare go in, you will then see as to what you will get." That was then the third time or the last, and then I turned here, I turned away from here.
Thank you. On that note, you've been turned away by Mamfundisi right at the doorsteps of this house, which is so holy and august. Let's hold it there. Tomorrow we'll proceed.
Guabini's account should unsettle anyone who still believes this prosecution is acting in good faith. He told the court how he was turned away twice when he tried to avail himself. Not once, twice. Then, when he was finally called a third time, instead of being guided into the courtroom like any ordinary citizen, he was allegedly threatened and chased away by Sergeant Magola. Since when does a prosecution chase away potential witnesses? Since when is someone who shows up 3 times treated like a threat rather than a participant in the search for truth? This is where the questions get uncomfortable, because if the goal is justice for Senzo Meyiwa, Why does every road that might complicate the prosecution's version of events seem to be barricaded? Why is access blocked, voices discouraged, and contradictions treated like enemies of the court? Look at the pattern. When evidence doesn't fit neatly, it are labeled irrelevant. When witnesses threaten the narrative, they are delayed, obstructed, or intimidated. When obvious contradictions surface, they're brushed aside as inconvenient noise. And meanwhile, who remains targeted? Not the powerful, not the connected, but the poor, the vulnerable, the expendable, men who can't afford elite legal machinery, men who are easy to parade as villains in front of cameras. So the question must be asked, not whispered, but asked out loud. Is the prosecution, led by Advocate Baloy and his team, genuinely searching for the truth? Or are they protecting a truth they already know? When a system behaves like it already knows who the killer is, but refuses to go near that direction, suspicion is no longer unreasonable. It becomes logical. Why chase ghosts when the house already has a shadow? Why silence those who try to enter court if the case can withstand scrutiny? Why does justice feel guarded, not for the victim, but from the public? The Meyiwa case is no longer just about who pulled the trigger. It's about whether the justice system has the courage to follow the truth wherever it leads, even if that truth is politically inconvenient, socially uncomfortable, or personally damaging to those in charge of the prosecution. Until that courage is shown, every blocked doorway, every chased witness, every selective pursuit will continue to raise the same haunting question. Are we witnessing justice in action, or a performance designed to protect someone we're not allowed to name? That is the question the court cannot outrun. This case will be remembered not only for what was said in court, but for who was blocked from entering it. If justice is real, it must fear nothing, not witnesses, not questions, not the truth. Thank you to the Skybridge family for standing firm and refusing to be fooled. And to those watching from the outside, don't just observe history, be part of it. Subscribe, engage, and keep the questions alive. Because the truth doesn't need protection, lies do. Goodbye.